Hi everyone, welcome back to the Take on Dallas. It's your girl, Kayla Bree. It's your girl, Kayla Bree. It's your girl, Kayla Bree. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch this video. So as you could tell by the title of this video, we're going to be talking about how to move to a different state, from one state to another state, all by yourself. I know this is a hot topic, especially because we are in the new year, and when it comes to new year, we try to make new plans. This is the perfect time to set that goal and go after the life that you always wanted to live. So if you want to know more about how you can make that move and the tips and tricks that I have for you to try to make that move here in 2023, then go ahead and keep on watching.
Look at you walking with a purpose. You ain't gotta change a thing, girl, you're perfect. Come join the real nigga team, you deserve it. Girl, you're looking like the blessing I've been praying for. Girl, this time is up, let me boss you up. I want your body.
So this is going to be a straight raw video. Like, I am going to be as realistic with you as I possibly can. Because I know that a lot of the expectations when it comes to moving across another state, it doesn't matter if it's the next state over, moving can be stressful. It can give you so much anxiety, and I'm here to tell you, because I am living proof that I have done it. I moved 10 and a half hours away from my hometown, and that's just driving. And I did it all by myself. So if I can do it, I promise you can do it as well. Okay, so the first tip that I have for you is to, number one, this is the first thing that you have to do. No matter what other steps and tips that I have further down this video, this is the number one tip that you need to do, and you have to do this tip first. And that is making up your mind and setting a plan. So you need to make up your mind on where it is that you want to go. So if that means that you need to visit a couple of different places to kind of see what fits you and your personality, then so be it. Honestly, when I moved to Dallas, Dallas was not my first choice. If you have been following me for a while, you would know that my very first choice was to move to Las Vegas. I really wanted to move to Las Vegas because I inspired to be within the realm of LA, but not in LA. I really did not ever desire to ever live in LA, but I always desired to be somewhat close to, you know, being able to amongst the opportunities that LA has. So like being hours away would put me in arm's length of the opportunities that LA can provide. However, that did not work out, and maybe that didn't work out for the better good. Honestly, if I were to pick, if you were to ask me 6-7 years ago, I would have chose Houston over Dallas, and I really truly had no desire to come to Dallas at all. I really was more leaning towards Las Vegas, and then I kind of teeter-tottered with Vegas, Miami, and Houston. Dallas was never on my radar. It was never a part of the plan. I kind of just ended up here, but so thankful that I did end up here, because this was the best decision that I ended up making. I don't think that if I would have went to any of the other states that I would have made it, honestly. However, moving here was the awesome opportunity for me. I was able to literally reinvent myself, turn into the woman that I always thought and saw myself being, and again, I just don't think that that would have happened had I moved to any other places. But I, one, had to make up my mind on which place that I wanted to go, and then once I made up my mind, I was able to set a plan to actually achieve that plan, you know, to actually achieve what it is that I was going after. So number one, making up your mind. Number two, setting the plan to go after the life you want. So once you have made up your mind, you've you've made a plan on what it is you're going to do, how you need to do it, the step by step. I mean, you're talking budget, you're talking furniture, you're talking moving expenses, you're talking apartments, you're talking everything. Once you kind of have a general plan together, after that, that is when you set a date. Setting a date is so crucial, because once you set that date, no matter what happens, you have to stick to that date. If you don't have enough money, if things happen and something happens and life just be lifing, no matter what, that date is that date. You have to stick to that date, and that will get you to actually move. I know a lot of the times our families discourage us. I was saying that I wanted to move for so long before I actually did it, and they just did not believe me. They didn't believe me until I had the U-Haul truck outside their door, like, okay, I'm gone. They really didn't believe me, and then once they did believe me, they really believed that I would come back. And I have been here 6 years and I have not came back, so I'm really proud. Like, I really did it. So yeah, you can't let that discourage you or get you off of your path. Like I said, make that plan and set that date. Okay, so now you've made a plan, you set a date. Now you need to start scheduling visits. It's really cheap if you make day visits, like if you do a quick turnaround. So say you come to go, or you go to the city that you want to go to. I'm gonna just use Dallas as a reference. Say you plan to come to Dallas for a day. You're going to have a list of apartments you need to go to. You're going to have interviews lined up, jobs, whatever you need to do. You'll have the interviews lined up, places you need to go to visit, and you'll have a set list. So I will say, when you're on this plan of doing the day trips, I would literally have 5 interviews set up, and I would have 5 places to look at on a list on where you need to look, on where you need to go look at, so that you know a general idea. I would do that 2 or 3 times. Come out here, a day trip, 5 jobs, 5 apartments that you can look at. And once you do that 3 times, you will find a job, number 1, and number 2, you will find an apartment that you like. So at that point, now it is time to put that deposit down, do the admin fee, make sure you have your deposit and your first month's rent. Have those things done even if it's not time for you to move yet. Just get that out of the way. Generally, leasing offices have like a portal where they'll have you log into, and you can prepay. Like, you could pay your deposit, you can pay your admin fee, you could pay your first month's rent, just so you can say that is not something I have to worry about. And then I also get a lot of questions on how do you secure an apartment when you don't have a job yet lined up. So my answer to that question would be, as long as you have a job in your current state, you should be able to use that pay stub to pay for your apartment. Put the proof of income for your next apartment, whether it's in the same city or not, because they don't know if you work from home, they don't know. So it really truly doesn't matter where your job is located, even if you don't plan on staying there while you're looking for another job. They're not going to ask you for your new pay stub, whatever, if you switch jobs. Like, the apartments are not going to do that. So as long as you have your current job, you can use that as your deposit you can use that as your pay stub for your apartment that you have coming, even though it's not in the same city. Also remember that when you're looking for places, that it is all about location. Do not find a job do not find an apartment close to your job, because that job may not fit that location may not fit your personality. And especially in Dallas, each area has its own personality, so you want to find what area suits you. Sometimes you may get it wrong on the first try. You may get out here and you may be like, this is not really my area, and then you'll find something further down the line. But just get a general sense of what your personality is like. There's so many videos on YouTube on how, like, areas in Dallas that you can literally research, and it'll tell you what you're into. So I would do research, figure out what areas in your city or what areas in the city you're desiring to go to suit you best before you make a permanent decision to sign a lease. Okay, so now we're getting to the point where we have to actually execute the plan that you had in the very beginning. So remember, you made up your mind and you said you made the plan and you set the date. So now here it is, you have to execute that plan. You used your pay stubs from your current job to secure your apartment. You paid your first month's rent. You paid your admin fee and the deposit. So now that's nothing you have to worry about. Now what we need to worry about is movers. Now if you're moving from one state to another and you need to get a U-Haul, you have to consider that it can get a little bit expensive to move from one city to another in a U-Haul. Generally it just depending on how far the distance, generally it can cost anywhere from $500 to $900 just to move. And that's not including the movers. That's just for you to get the truck and getting the truck to move from one city to another, and that's also not including gas. So you have to calculate gas, you also have to calculate movers. So if you're moving from one state to another and you're by yourself, you want to make sure that you hire movers, which is super easy to do. Usually U-Haul has recommendations on people and they can charge, they charge like $60 an hour. It's probably going to take you 2 hours. Set aside $200 for movers, you know, so make sure you have that. And then let's speak about savings. So what exactly are you saving for? So in an ideal world, we would love to have a fully furnished apartment on the first move, right? Like everything's done, looking beautiful, couch, bedroom, everything is just how you want it to look right off bat. But honestly, that's just not realistic. And even if you save money, things come up. So I would try to budget to get the big things first. That would mean a couch, a bed, making sure you have the small utensil things that you need, you know, silverware, tissue, toiletries, all of that. You would need all of those things to make sure you can just live on the day-to-day, and then you can worry about adding things later down the line. You want to make sure that you just have the basics of what you need. So you would calculate that and you would figure out how much that looks like, and then you would add $1,000 to that. So say if in your mind you need $3,000 to get a couch, get a bed, make sure you have all of the toiletries, add $1,000 to that just to make sure that you have a little bit of wiggle room just in case of something happening. So that's how I would personally do the savings. Not everybody has the ability to save up $10,000 and $20,000 to actually move. And honestly, if you set an unrealistic goal like saving $10,000 to move, you probably won't do it. So I'm giving you a realistic way where you can actually make the move. So if you follow these steps, you will move and you will start creating a life that you want to live. So in my next video, we are going to go over cost of living in Dallas, Texas. So if that's something that you're interested in, stay tuned for that video. And that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you set that list, make that plan, and go after the life you always wanted. It's 2023. It's no better time than now to go after that life. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in to watch this video. Make sure you guys are following us over on TikTok at the TakeOnDallas, on Instagram at the TakeOnDallas, and then we do have a membership app where you can join our community to connect with others. We have monthly meetups. It's just a place for us to connect and network. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, all the links will be down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.